And we're cooking up something extra special. This is one of those things where, you know, a real wow factor. You see this at restaurants and fancy bakeries, and I happen to love scones, but I don't really tackle them at home. I'm a little intimidated, but this is an easy recipe.
It's very easy, and it's just 4 dry ingredients, butter and cream, and that's it.
Yum, yum. So, and there's something special about scones. They're just a wonderful, flaky, a little bit sweet, but not real sweet, you know, biscuit. They're like a biscuit almost. You say you use them to make strawberry shortcake.
I absolutely do. I split them, and it's one of our favorite Mother's Day brunch items. Split it with the fresh Lamers dairy whipped cream and the strawberries. It's great.
Very, very simple. Okay, so I'm going to get to work on the whipped cream that's going to go with this. So we started out with powdered sugar, a little vanilla, and then Lamers heavy cream.
That's right.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and put these ingredients in. Is that what you'd like me to do?
You bet.
So we have some cake flour, and we're just going to put that into the bowl of the food processor.
Is cake flour just the all-purpose flour? Is it the same thing, or is it different?
It's a little bit different. It's more finely milled, and it's a soft wheat.
Okay.
So it imparts a more delicate taste.
Okay, so look for the cake flour. That was a little bit of sugar.
You can substitute cake for all-purpose, but you can't substitute really all-purpose for cake.
Okay, good to know.
So we have flour, sugar. This is a baking powder, not soda, powder.
Okay.
Don't want to make that mistake. And then the salt. And we're just going to put the processor back together here, and we are going to just pulse it. And basically what that does is it sifts our dry ingredients together. We're making a lot of noise today, aren't we?
That's okay. That's a good thing.
So we really just want to pulse that. So to basically sift it, and then we're going to put in our butter, and we have it cubed so it processes a little bit easier.
And cold.
Cold, absolutely. You want cold butter, just like when you're making a pie dough.
Okay.
So then we're going to go ahead and turn this on, and we really just want it to incorporate the flour into the butter, and just till it's about pea size. And it doesn't look like it's doing a lot right now, and we'll go ahead then and...
But it happens very, very quickly.
It does, and you don't want to overwork it because your dough will be tough. But I can see that it's doing something, and I'm just going to scrape things down a bit here. Just to kind of get things going in there a little bit. But you can see the pea size is already forming. And then what we're going to do, you can see it start to come together. What we're going to do is take our delicious Lamers dairy cream. I went out to the farm the other day to see the cows. They were happy cows. In the green pasture, all of a sudden we went from
I know, it's so nice to see.
So we're just going to do this until it starts to come together. And it's kind of a wet dough. And then we're doing a cup, so that's what that is. And I really want to stop it now because I just want it to come together. I don't want to have it, let's forget that. We don't want it to over process, as I said. And what we'll do is we'll just put a little flour on our board.
Okay. And I'm going to let you finish whipping that.
And we'll bring that off. And what we want to do is just form that together with our hands. And as I said, it is a bit of a wet dough, but it's
But if the flour's like that, that's how you want it. That's more important than overmixing it.
Absolutely,
correct?
Because then if you overmix it, you'll have a tough scone that won't rise very well. So basically, you want to bring that together. I don't know if you want to do that.
Just finish it by hand, basically.
Yeah, just bring it together in as much flour as you need. And you basically want to form it into a 3/4 inch high round that you'll be able to cut out.
Okay, so you tell me when.
Yeah, that's good. We'll just want to flatten it a little bit, yeah.
It's a real sticky dough.
It is.
Does that look okay?
Yeah, that'll be great.
And now we're going to cut it, it looks like.
We are, and what we're going to do is, and you can roll it a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to take a little bit of our cream. I reserved just a tiny bit. Make sure we're not sticking on this side.
Michelle, have you flavored these at all? Have you ever put in like, you know, cranberries or
chocolate chips or anything you want?
At what point would you do that?
I would do it, actually I would do it by hand. After I turn it out, I would just mix it in, but very gently.
Okay.
Because the food processor will chop the things up. So then basically what you're going to want to do is take a cutter, and whatever size cutter you wish. This happens to be about 2.5 inches, and I think that makes a really nice size.
Very pretty.
You can also just freeform it too, or cut it into wedges if you don't have a biscuit cutter. So you're just going to want to get that in some flour, and then go ahead if you want to cut them, and we're going to put them on a parchment lined tray. And you just have to push it out a little bit. We maybe need a little more flour. It is, as I said, a little bit wet.
These are so pretty, though. How long do they bake, and what's the oven temperature?
Well, they bake at 350, and it kind of depends on the size. That's why for the ones that I did right here, those were about 17 minutes, and that's for about a 2.5 size biscuit cutter.
And you don't want them to get real brown, it looks like.
No, just golden, because the bottoms actually color a lot faster than the tops. And then once we have them cut out, what we're going to do is just brush a little bit of cream on them, just to
give them a nice little shine.
Yeah, a little bit of shine, and then you can then just sprinkle some sugar on top, and then that gives you a little bit of, as you said, the sheen. And this recipe will actually make 10 of those. And
they're really rich and wonderful. You probably can't eat more than one. Well, you could, but you probably shouldn't. And then we've got the whipped cream here. So if you were to plate these on Mother's Day, how would you normally do that?
Well, what I like to do is, I said, my preference is to go with the strawberry shortcut cake method. I'm sorry. And so I would just split it like that and put some whipped cream on top. But you can see how delicate it is, how crumbly it is, and then we just want to take some strawberries, and oh, there you go. That's a great idea. They'll be beautiful all the same, and then we can just
slice some strawberries.
And I actually, if I want to really be naughty, I love to marinate them either in kirsch and a little bit of sugar, or Grand Marnier is also very nice.
These look just beautiful, though, and just a nice light treat. And you're really going to be able to taste the scone, which is nice too. You know, it's all about the scone. So thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Now, for people who have never been to Lamers before and they are curious about it, where can people find you?
Well, I would suggest they go to lamersdairyinc.com, and they can find directions. They can find a little bit more about our history. They can see some pictures of 3 of the generations. So just go to the website. We're in Appleton off 441 and CE.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll be back. Stay with us.